Hi, welcome to the Average Whiskey Drinker channel. I'm your host, Brian. Today I'll be bringing you HARDIN'S Creek by Jim Beam. It's 108 proof. It is distilled from 3 grains, born from the creek. And it is Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, like I said, 108 proof, column distillation, and double distilled. So, as I said in a previous video, I procured some things from different places. This one here was keg and bottle. And honestly, if you want a great place with great customer service, Marwa is awesome. Try kegandbottle.com. They are great people. They have great picks. A lot of the YouTubers that we watch, like It's Bourbon Night, Bourbon Judge, Mash and Drum, My Bourbon Journey, they all use her. Well, not her per se. I think she's the manager. They use a keg and bottle to send it out basically to the people. Sometimes it's also sharedpour.com. But today we're going to get into this one, this little puppy right here. Now, it came originally in a really nice, cool copper tin thing. Look, that's not my thing. I don't care about the pretty looking box it comes in. I care about the liquid that's inside said little bottle. Now, this has a little strap top to it. I mean, cool, really nice cap. But to me, it's about the liquid inside. That's what I care about. So with Jacob's Well, this bourbon is one of 2 inaugural releases from the James Beam Distilling Company's HARDIN'S Creek line. It is a polar opposite of the other inaugural releases. This one here is the bourbon is 2-year-old bourbon meant to be reminiscent of the bourbon produced by when Colonel Jim Beam shortly after Prohibition ended. Jacob's Well bourbon is the other end of the spectrum. It is a near equal blend of 16-year-old bourbon made from the traditional Jim Beam bourbon mashbill and a 15-year-old high-rye bourbon. Now, I had a little bit of the neck pour earlier just to get a kind of a taste of it, to see, what it was like. And it was really good. It definitely had the beam notes. It definitely had a beam note. So that beam note was a little prevalent. So let's get into the nosing. Definitely got some oakiness. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla, but the oak note is definitely there. It's definitely pleasant. Now, there's a couple other YouTubers out there I think have already done this. I just finally got mine about 2 weeks ago. So I figured, I don't do, because this is an expensive bottle, which is shocking. I think it's over $200. But you're getting 16-year-old and 15-year-old bourbon and whiskey, bourbon and rye. So look at everything nowadays. Everything's expensive, including eggs. But, normally I think Zach from the Bourbon Kingdom said that it should be 10 years for every year of aging on bourbon. So this should roughly still cost about $160, $170. So let's get into the taste. See, a lot of people don't like this word. That's smooth. That is just oaky vanilla, caramel, butterscotch. It's like butterscotchy note. Just really good. It tastes good. It has a little bit of the beam note. Call it, we used to joke as a kid, we used to do shots of Jim Beam and it tasted like licking a stamp. This is more like a just well-aged bourbon. Like I said, it's expensive, but you're getting that age in this. You're getting that flavor, that taste, the nosing. It's not overpowering. And for 108 proof, if you want to put an ice cube in it, or I wouldn't recommend any more than that, or an 8-ball, just to bring the proofiness down, I'm sure it's going to open up even more. But for me, I honestly prefer to drink almost all of my bourbon unless it's really high up there and like hazmat level. Neat. Yeah, that vanilla, it's like a vanilla sugar note. Almost like reminiscence of a boozy rum cake. I can see where they're saying the rye spice, the high-rye bourbon. You definitely get that note, that little bit of spicy note right where it coasts over the tongue. So it's there, but it's not, even though it's a high-rye bourbon, it's not really heavy like a baking spice or a anseed or a burn, like a deep. This one here, it coats beautifully. It just a little bit of that warmth right here. There's really honestly, little to no Kentucky hug. So this is, I would definitely say if you see this in a bar or a bourbon bar, and they'll probably be pricey. Probably I'd say anywhere between $20 to $30 a pour. Try it. I mean, it's really good. And if you can find a bottle for MSRP, which I think is about $210, $220, and you have the wherewithal to do it, I say try it. I mean, it's really good. So I'm your host, Brian. This has been the Average Whiskey Drinker channel. And like I always say, find a bottle, open the bottle, enjoy the bottle, because good whiskey's meant to be enjoyed and shared. Thanks for watching.